The 12 Sports Team presents the Binghamton Coaches Show. Only on WBNG.
Good evening, and thank you once again for joining us tonight for the 12 Sports' special presentation of the Binghamton Bearcats Coaches Show. Over the next half hour, we will bring you an inside look at what's going on with the Bearcats and some of our one-on-one conversation with the Binghamton University coaches. It's going to be a jam-packed half hour of action, so let's get tipped off with a trip to the hardwood. Levell Sanders is entering his fourth season as the head coach of the Binghamton Bearcats men's basketball team and looking to continue on the upward swing of the last 3 seasons. Sanders led the Bearcats to a 15-15 record last year, the first winning season for the team since making the NCAA tournament in 2009. We spoke with the coach ahead of the start of the season about his team and what we can expect this year. Coach, I appreciate you giving us a few moments here. I know you just wrapped up another one of preseason's practice, so we'll just start right there. What's the team looking like? How's everything going through the first few days of practice?
I mean, it's been going pretty good. I mean, the most important thing is we're trying to get everybody healthy. We got Jackson back. It's his second practice today, so it's good to see him out there on the court. And then we still need to get Steph back out there and get him healthy. You know, he's dealing with some injuries. So, but I think for what we haven't seen the whole group together, but I do like some of the things that I'm seeing. Some of the new guys have been playing really well, and some of our older guys are stepping up and kind of taking the lead, which they need to do. And so, once we get everybody, out there on the court and playing, I think then I can really tell what exactly we have.
You mentioned a couple of names there, Jackson and Steph, who might be new to some of the Binghamton viewers. I know last year it was a team that was highlighted by Samir Torrance, Armand Reed, Tyrese Balogun. Those guys aren't here anymore, but Taimu Shinnery, 1,000-point scorer, and his third season here back in Binghamton, he's returning. But who are some of these new guys that are going to fill up and bring some depth to the roster here?
Yeah, I think, Jackson obviously is a guy coming from Stonehill who has a lot of experience and has played some good basketball. So we're expecting a lot out of Jackson. Ben Callahan Gold has been a guy that's been a pleasant surprise. Coming from the Division III level, he's stepped in, and we brought him here as a guy that is going to knock down threes and be a leader, presence for us, use his voice, and he's doing exactly that. Jaden Lamont has been really good. Kind of same kind of role as Samir, where he's more of a pass-first point guard. So he's been really good. Defensively, he's been really good. So we're looking forward and excited about him. And Wes Peterson, who's kind of the last guy we added to the team. But he's come on, and he's transferred from Delaware, and he's been playing some good basketball. He's another guy that was out for a good portion of the preseason. But he's getting back. He's getting his conditioning, and he had a really good practice today. So he'll be a guy that also will be able to do some good things for us. And then Dominic Capriati, who we brought in and expect him to be a good shooter for us. He's had some struggles at the beginning, but today he had a really good practice. One of the coaches were talking about him after practice, and so a lot of times when you have new guys, they have to adjust to the things that you're doing, which is probably a lot different from where they're coming from. So these guys have been adjusting, but I think we've got 5 really good players, and hopefully they'll all make an impact.
Well, obviously, Taimu Shinnery back for his 3rd season as a 5th-year graduate. How's he stepping up into that leadership role this season?
Yeah, I thought in the summer he had some struggles, and we had a lot of conversations. He's been in my office probably the most out of anybody, because I think when guys are choosing to come back. And he came back because he specifically told me he wanted to be the #1 option. But I think, when he's thinking about the #1 option, he's probably thinking about, doing interviews like this and, scoring 20 points a game and all those kind of things. But, he didn't think about that he was going to have to be the hardest worker in the weight room. He was going to have to be, winning all of the sprints. One thing about Samir last year, this is what I told him, was that if we ran 100 sprints last year, Samir probably won 90 of them. And the ones he didn't win was when he was injured, right? So he was one of those guys that he was the leader of the team, but he led by example also, not just by talking. And so, I think Taimu is again, it's a new role for him. So I think he's stepping into that role. And, again, there's been some bumps and bruises, but it's good that we can get it out right now. And he'll have clarity on what he needs to do and how he needs to lead going forward. He's been, he's had a little ankle injury, so today was his first day of practice. And we had some people here watching practice, and they were like, man, number 0 was really talking and communicating, right? So he's really, adapting, and I think as the season go on, he'll get better and better at it. So we definitely need him to be our vocal leader. He's not naturally a vocal, he's not a loud person, but I wasn't that way as a person. Off the court, I'm not loud. I don't talk a lot. But when I was playing, I was a point guard. I was a leader most of the time on all my teams. And so I was the one that was talking. So I'm just trying to get him to understand, he's the leader of this team. He's our best player, so he has to be the guy that's going to be the hardest worker. He has to, be the hardest worker in the classroom. We're going to need him to do a lot of community things off the court. But, that's all that stuff that comes with being a leader, right? And so, yeah, being a number 1 guy. So he's, like I said, it was some bumps and bruises, but I think he's doing a much better job now.
All right, and then just finally, last question now. Tell me, 1 of 4 guys coming back. Chris Warren coming back. You got Nehemiah Menson coming back as well. Gavin, as you had mentioned before. The people that we know, the names that we know, how have they taken that step over this last year here?
Yeah, I think, let's talk about Gavin. Gavin has, I think, taken a really big step. Gavin is I think Gavin is like a natural leader. He's a guy that is not afraid to talk. Even as a freshman last year, he wasn't. He's one of the loudest guys on the team. I think he's really taking it. I think he's going to have a really good year. He plays so hard. And when you play hard, good things happen. Just trying to get him to understand, he has to play within a team concept. Nehemiah also, he's had some bumps and bruises with leadership. He wasn't where he needed to be. I think he's doing a better job, but he still needs to take steps to be a leader. And that's vocally, that's by his actions. So he needs some work. Chris, I thought, had a really good summer. I think over the last 2 weeks, I think he's taken some steps back. And I've vocalized that to him. And so he has to, get back on track in terms of just doing the things we need him to do. So those are, those are the returning guys that, but one guy we haven't mentioned is Evan Ash, who, had some glimpses last year, but he's probably has had the best summer and fall out of all of the players that we have. And, I expect a really, really good year out of him. He's so athletic. He's been, every day I'm leaving the office, he's in the gym working. His shot has improved. He's become more consistent. So I think he's going to be a pleasant surprise. I think he could be a guy like an X factor for us, like somebody that, nobody really knows what to expect, but he's super talented, and he has the right mindset.
All right, you mentioned what to expect. So last question, what can we expect on the court this year from the Bearcats?
For us to play hard. We are one of those teams that I don't think we're going to be blowing teams out by 20 points. So, we're going to need to play as hard as we can, give all of our effort every time we're on the floor. Hopefully we can be exciting. We want to push the ball and get up and down the court. When teams miss or when we get a turnover, we have some athletes that can get out and be fun for the fans to watch. And so hopefully we can finally get that opportunity to have a playoff game here at the event center. So, our fans can enjoy that. Has been a while since that's happened, and that's one of the things that we always talk about. So look forward for an interesting, fun year. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of home games this year. Just the way the schedule worked out, we got to return a few of those games that we played last year. We're going to play in the MT, which is away. So we don't have a ton of home games, but especially the non-conference. And, conference is conference, but we do have Longwood coming in. That's a pretty good team. So I'm looking forward to finally getting an opportunity to play against another team, which we'll do here pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to a fun year.
You had mentioned some things that hadn't been done in a long time. One of those, a winning record. You got that done last year. As you improve your mark for the 3rd straight year, we look forward to seeing you doing that again for the 4th straight year. So we appreciate you giving us some time. We look forward to seeing you out on the court very shortly. We look forward to you guys staying with us here as we will return on the Binghamton Bearcats Coaches Show.
I met Robin, and he helped me find a mentor who guided me a little bit. He's up in Binghamton, I believe. And I just did the business plan, and I decided to act on it as I really like Levell tea, and it's popular with my generation of people, and you can't really get it in rural areas, which clearly that's where I'm at. So it took off, and Robin nominated me for the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year, and that's how we got here.
Living on a fixed income is tough.
Now, Josh Riley and liberal extremists want to give our Social Security benefits to illegal immigrants who haven't paid a penny.
It feels like liberals don't care about people like me.
Mark Molinaro and Republicans understand times are tough enough.
And giving benefits to illegals is just stealing from those who paid in.
I'm supporting Mark.
I'm supporting Mark.
He looks out for us.
I'm Mark Molinaro, and I approve this message.
Deniful knows a full life doesn't just happen. It's a choice. To take a swing, to taste all life has to offer. Choose joy. Choose Deniful. And try Incredibites, just for small dogs.
We can stop this. Together.
My team is on their way. Let's get to work.
The assassins are inbound.
He has a knack for finding the suspect.
I'm too old for this crap. This will be dangerous.
Must be Tuesday. Trust me.
I trust you.
The FBI's are all new. CBS tonight at 8/7 Central and streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm a 5th-generation dairy farmer. What we do feeds New York and America. But Mark Molinaro sold us out. He took thousands in campaign cash from a company entirely owned by the communist Chinese government. And then in Congress, Molinaro made it easy for China to take advantage of New York farmers, like me. Letting China buy up our farmland makes me sick. I usually vote Republican, but there's no way in hell I'm voting for Mark Molinaro.
I'm Josh Riley, and I approve this message.
I'm Zach Grady, and for decades now, 12 Sports has been your home and your one-stop shop for everything athletic across the Southern Tier.
And this year's no different. We're practically everywhere. From inside the studio to out on the field, 12 Sports has got it all.
Summer, winter, or fall, basketball, baseball, and football.
You can count on 12 Sports to be everywhere and all things Southern Tier. If you've watched Binghamton Volleyball or even tuned into the sports desk, you've heard the name Tsvetelina Ilieva. The 5th-year outside hitter has been a star on the volleyball court with numerous awards and accolades. 12 Sports' Michael Villegas, though, shows us how her impact goes beyond the lines as she cements her legacy as a Bearcat.
It is very rare that you have really special players that come in and out of your life, and you have really special players that leave an impact on your program.
Which is exactly what 5th-year outside hitter Tsvetelina Ilieva has been for the Binghamton Bearcats volleyball program. But if you ask her about her performance as a Bearcat, you'll get a much more humble response.
That's a hard question. I don't like to talk about that. I think I show up when my teammates need me. I think I've taken like a leadership role for like the past 3 years, and I think I maintain it. I try to help my teammates as much as possible outside the court, inside the court, during a game, during practice, whenever they need me.
As the self-proclaimed international student coordinator, after meeting with multiple international recruits thinking of becoming Bearcats, just goes to show Tsvetelina's impact goes beyond the court.
She helps in every single aspect of this program, whether it be leading us as a captain in every single match, to just putting this program on the map, to helping in the recruiting process. And she's the one that paves the way for the future of this program, A legacy is a really big thing that me and her have talked about for years and years and years. And she's going to leave a huge, huge legacy in this program. People will talk about her for years and probably decades after she's left here and doing amazing things after Binghamton Volleyball. But she's going to leave a huge legacy on this program. And I just hope that, her and her teammates can achieve the things that she really wants to achieve this year.
And even after all the personal accomplishments and accolades, it's clear what she wants and what she'd be willing to pay to get it.
I don't want it if it means not winning. I don't want, the spotlight if it means we don't win at the end. So I embrace it. I show up for it because that's what my teammates need me to show up. And if that means, I will trade everything I've gotten for a ring and for a championship, but it's one step at a time.
While Tsvetelina focuses on each step toward that goal, Coach Yaeger has had quite some time to prepare her for the next step in her career, which is now coming closer.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, it's just so crazy because we've been together for so long. 5 years is a long time. And then you add on the couple years that we recruited her, a solid probably year and a half to 2 years before that. And I've always known that she wanted to play professionally when she was done, and that's always how we train her, me and CJ. Every day we keep in mind that she's going to leave here and she's going to go and play professionally. So we have to train her at the highest level that we can train her at because we're not doing our job if we're not preparing her for life after college.
And it sounds like Coach Yaeger has done her job.
After college, I want to start my professional career in volleyball. It's going to be hard. It's going to be scary because it's business now. It's not just volleyball and classes. But I'm ready. And I think the coaches have prepared me for it.
Tsvetelina describes just how much Coach Yaeger has meant to her.
Being coached by someone that you can call your family is huge. It's something like nothing else.
And that feeling is mutual.
To me, it's always about them. It's always about my players. They are, after my family and sometimes even before my family. I put them, August through December, they come first in my life, always. And Svet has been such a huge part of my journey and someone that I'll never forget and such a special part of my life and my family's life. I mean, she truly is a part of my family. And I'll never forget her, and she's always there. But yeah, I mean, she leaves such a huge mark in my personal journey in life and in coaching. And I hope that, I've left a special place in her heart and that, she's always going to be, we're always going to have our special bond.
Thinking back, Tsvetelina says what she's gained during her time as a Bearcat.
It's just, that's one of the things I love about Binghamton, not just the place, the program, the opportunities that the program provide, the people. The people, that volleyball team is my family.
Bearcats volleyball has gone 6-5 and is 3-2 in conference since Cornell snapped the Bearcats' 6-game win streak to finish up the Rutgers Invitational. The Bearcats then went to the Bronx to play Fordham, where they beat the Rams but ended up losing to West Virginia in the Rose Hill Classic. Binghamton then traveled to Lemoyne and got a win over the Dolphins before their first conference match. UAlbany made their way to Vestal, where the Bearcats won in 3 sets. They followed that up with another win at home against LIU before back-to-back conference matches. On the road, the Bearcats get their first loss in conference to UMBC, but then pick up a win at home against Bryant. The Bearcats then hit a tough road stretch where they lose 3 in a row and 1 in conference to New Hampshire before getting back in the win column at home against another in-conference match with NJIT. Tsvetelina Ilieva leads the Bearcats with 390 kills, which is more than 200 than the next closest player. She also leads with 39 aces. Lottie Scully leads in assists with 671, while Misha Dloha leads in blocks with 98. The Bearcats are currently 13-9, 3-2 in conference as they begin 4 straight conference matchups.
Don't go anywhere because when we get back, we hit the pitch with the men's and women's soccer teams as they wrap up the 2024 fall season. Stay tuned. We're back right after this break.
Mark Molinaro is lying. Of course Josh Riley supports a stronger border.
Josh Riley is demanding that career politicians secure the border.
And he has a plan.
Josh Riley says the bill he supports would install physical barriers along the southern border, add thousands of Border Patrol agents.
I'm Josh Riley. I've always been for securing the border and cracking down on fentanyl trafficking. I approve this message because no matter what Mark Molinaro says, I'll stand up to anyone to get it done.
Have you ever considered getting a walk-in tub? Well, look no further. Safe Step's best offer just got better. Now, when you purchase your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub, you'll receive a free shower package. Yes, a free shower package. And if you call today, you'll also receive 15% off your entire order. Now you can enjoy the best of both worlds. The therapeutic benefits of a warm, soothing bath that can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and even improve sleep. Or, if you prefer, you can take a refreshing shower all in one product. Call now to receive a free shower package plus 15% off your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub.
Call now, 1-800-443-7474. There's never been a better time. That's 1-800-443-7474.
We chose Guthrie Lord's Hospital solely, I think, really on
reputation.
The reputation and also on the OBGYN office. That office is incredible. We felt comfortable with those doctors. We got to meet the whole team when we were there. We were there for a really long time. We were there for 3-4 days. But I was in labor for over 48 hours, and the team was absolutely incredible. Some things popped up and some complications that we were not anticipating, where things got a little scary and we weren't sure what the outcome was going to be.
There was never a time where the providers or nurses felt like it was outside of their control.
They talked me through our options and really made me feel like I was a part of my healthcare and my choice. Their care and their compassion and their dedication to what they do is absolutely incredible, and they will make you feel special. They will make you feel like you are the only one in the room. I couldn't have done it without them.
To be or not to be? That's the question.
You're being theatrical.
No, I'm not. What's the one thing you want your show to be?
Helpful.
And what's the one thing not to be?
Not to be seen as a know-it-all.
Well, your version of a show is titled Joe Knows.
And every week, thanks to my callers, I do know more.
So, the one thing you want your show to be?
Helpful.
Stanley Law.
Bearcats men's soccer is finishing out the regular season with one goal in mind, the top of the table. After 2 wins over America East rivals, Binghamton is hoping to round out the regular season on a winning streak. 12 Sports' Keith Savage caught up with the team down the stretch run.
Binghamton men's soccer has been led by head coach Paul Marco. In his tenure, the program was crowned America East champs twice, with the most recent in 2006. The team has not reached the championship game since 2015. After losing its first 2 conference matchups, the team has bounced back, winning 2 in a row.
When you start 0-2 in the conference, you're saying it's an uphill battle, and it's been. So we'll keep that. We'll keep that momentum. Next weekend will be a very difficult game. Bryant's a very good team. So this week in training, we won't maintain anything. We'll push the envelope. We'll try to keep them firing, getting faster, cleaner with the ball. I thought we made some errors today that we need to clean up.
Through 15 games, 4 of the top 6-point leaders from Bearcats are sophomores. A big reason why is due to the young guys getting extended opportunities with the roster fighting injuries all year.
So we've lost a few guys along the way that are important key players to us, starters, some of our top guys, and the team just shows up and who's ready to play. I think that the guys really do just kind of see the challenges in front of them and find solutions to play.
The current overall record is 8-5-2 with 3 regular season games left on the schedule. Binghamton is looking for its first winning record since 2016. Marco says this group is a special one.
I think the culture of the team is outstanding. And for me, culture comes out of your everyday environment. So what's the atmosphere of the team like that you see daily? And then the culture kind of comes out of that. You see that over time. And I think every day our guys show up with the right attitude, They show up with the right joy on their face. They love being together. They love playing soccer.
The schedule has a November 1st senior day against Albany to go along with 2 road matchups at Bryant and Vermont.
The Binghamton Bearcats Coaches Show wraps up with women's soccer when we return. Stay tuned.
They're sending criminal illegals upstate, overwhelming our cities. D.C. lawyer Josh Riley is part of the problem, pushing amnesty for 11 million illegals, even criminals. Riley took campaign cash from George Soros, who's bankrolled the liberal prosecutors, releasing dangerous illegals in New York. Riley even backed the far-left Clean Slate Act, letting felons hide their crimes from the public. Josh Riley would make Washington worse. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you haven't called Senior Life Insurance Company for your free quote, you're probably paying too much. Senior Life was able to get this 65-year-old woman a $10,000 immediate benefit whole life plan for under $41 a month. She saved over $450 a year by choosing Senior Life. Some competitors cost twice as much. This 65-year-old man was paying almost $110 a month before he called Senior Life. We were able to cut his rate to $52, saving him almost $700 a year. These low rates are locked in, and so is the coverage amount. Hundreds of thousands of seniors have taken advantage of our low-cost plans built with seniors' budgets in mind. We saved this couple almost $1,400 a year with more coverage compared to what they were paying. Call now to find out if Senior Life Insurance Company can cut your rate in half. The quote is absolutely free. Switch to Senior Life and stop paying too much. Call now.
The cornerstone of Investigate TV is investigative journalism. We want to get answers. We want to teach you something.
We always try to give viewers a takeaway, something they can learn from a story.
What is the solution here? Every story we air, we strive to be able to show that.
There are things that affect our homes, that affect our families, that affect our health, that we are learning every day from these stories.
Do you think people are dying?
Should this be better regulated? Should I be concerned? Do you recall when you became aware of that law?
The beauty of this show is that we have a team of reporters all across the country.
From very diverse backgrounds.
The public has a right to know. How big of a problem is that?
Should they be revoking these certifications?
I think viewers are looking for something different, something fresh, something that feels helpful to them.
And it allows us to tell the best of the best stories and show them to you every day.
Here, have some more of my pot roast.
Hungry for laughs? Then enjoy 2 helpings of humor every weeknight. Whether it's a main dish,
steak,
something lighter,
sandwiches from the mistake,
or just dessert.
Make way for the ice cream.
Get your fill of funny with Mash and Andy.
Tonight on Binghamton's Me TV.
With just 2 games to go, the Bearcats lead a pack of 4 teams fighting for the final 2 home playoff games in the America East tournament. Binghamton is a point up on the pace, but anything can happen in the final week of the season. Keith Savage is back on the pitch for an update on the final week of conference play.
The Bearcats started the season 3-2 before beginning America East play. Through 6 conference games, the team has been 3-2-1. Head coach Neil Bhattacharjee expanded on how the games are different between AE and non-conference.
And there's just a different level of intensity, different level of competitiveness that goes into it. So you certainly see that in the non-conference, and that's why, we try to play really good opponents in the non-conference so it can prepare us for America East play. And then once you get to these games, everything just gets magnified even more. A lot of these games come down to a couple key moments, and you want to take care of those key moments. And if you do that, you put yourself in a good spot.
Since America East play began, a newcomer has begun to shine. Freshman forward Jakaya Davis was injured during the summer. She's now finding her groove as she has reached the back of the net 3 times, including 2 goals and a win over UMBC.
Once she was fully cleared, then now you're learning about college soccer, and so you're already learning as a freshman, and then in her case, she had a couple weeks of a delay, so now you're building up and getting the fitness and all of that. So now it's coming together for her bit by bit. She's certainly pretty deadly when you get her in around the 18, as she's shown, and we're going to be expecting more from her as we get into these last few games.
With losses to Maine and New Hampshire, the head coach believes the team has to hone in on their talents to be crowned AE tournament champs for the first time since 2004.
I think we know who we are. You know, we've got a pretty good identity in terms of how we want to defend, how we want to attack, and now it's a matter of just really paying attention to those details, because these are going to be tight games that come down to a couple moments.
The 2 games left in schedule are a home game against UMass Lowell for Senior Day and a road matchup at Albany.
That's going to do it for us this month here on the Bearcats Coaches Show. We appreciate you joining us for the last 30 minutes, and we look forward to seeing you again 1 month from right now as we are back on November 26th. And as always, you can find more coverage from us on campus on the 12 Sports homepage and the WBNG YouTube page as well. So thank you once again for being a part of the Coaches Show and being a part of One Binghamton.